All right, hi, this is Atkin, and welcome to Series 4, Episode 9 of Manor Lords as we work on getting the Steam achievement called Challenge Accepted, beating the Restoring the Peace scenario with the challenging preset difficulty. So we are now continuing to develop Waldbrand, and what we want to do with Waldbrand now is get the money going, make it profitable. We're going to do that with those berries. We have a rich berry deposit. If we have several people picking berries, we can get hundreds of berries each year out of Waldbrand and make good money on them, plus use them to feed our people. So that's going to be the plan there. And we're going to be bouncing back and forth a lot now. We now have 3 regions we're trying to manage. And over here in Immenreuth, we're trying to expand our bread production. And really the idea now is that Immenreuth is going to be primarily bread, a little barley for itself, and primarily bread, and that bread's going to get exported to the other regions, and that way we'll be able to send back whatever Immenreuth would like to have in return for the bread. So Immenreuth bread, and I think Waldbrand is going to be really focused on barley. And we'll see how this works out. It may be more balanced than I'm currently envisioning, bread, barley and wheat in both regions. We may even get into flax. We shall see. But at any rate, we'll just keep going, and we're going to keep expanding, keep making sure we have our food. We're going to try to start leveling up a little more aggressively than I have been, and see if we can't take advantage of some of the things that are out there. For example, we really would like to have the bakery extension and get double up our food production, essentially, of bread, which would be great. That would be, particularly here in Immenreuth, considering we're going to think of this as the bread capital of the world. So again, we're just going to keep expanding. As we get more people, we're just going to keep expanding the bread production here, the farming, so that we can make more and more wheat, which then turns into more and more bread. Here I'm trying to plan out which burgage plots to upgrade. We need a few more level 2s, and then we're going to need, you know, and more level 3s. Well, really, we're looking for level 3s, right? And so I'm trying to decide, based on proximity to the market, which ones would I want to go for first as level 3. And then, of course, they have to be level 2 first in order to make that. And then over here, again, we want to get a lot of forager huts up and have people picking the berries. We need the food, and we need something to trade. And usually when I take my cursor while I'm playing and move it like that in a funny way, I'm usually pointing something out that I want to remind myself to say when I'm doing the commentary. And I don't know, I wanted to say something there, so I'm sure it probably would have been the most important thing you'll ever hear about this game, but I'm afraid it's lost.
Come on, laddie, come on.
So we're setting up we've got our trade post, we're setting up our initial trade. We're going to start trading berries passively, I would call it. We're going to export excess firewood because having more than what we can store at this point is not useful. So actually 60, we'll have a little more than we can store. Probably could have made a better choice there. And we want to have our trading post with horses because that functionality seems to be working now. Does anybody know for sure about that? It appears to be working, but I don't know that it really does. I can't say that it really does. Now, the other thing I decided here was instead of getting someone in the trading post just yet, I'd rather have one person get in there and get us some more berries first, and then as we get people, see we've got great popularity already. So as we get people, we'll get them into the trading posts and other things we would need to develop our region.
Come on, lad, come along.
And our tax rate just went up, and look at this. Our buddy he really wants Immenreuth, doesn't he? So he's pressing another claim on Immenreuth. We're going to take the same strategy we did before and move our troops and mercenaries there as quickly as we can before we accept. We've got a pretty decent army here. I mean, one sad retinue. We can bump up the one in Immenreuth to full size. We're going to have everybody else rally in Immenreuth. So our 3 spear militia will be coming from Nusslohe. We'll have them do their initial rally close by, and then we'll march them up. We're going to try to avoid that situation where you get them in rally mode and their behavior is funny. And we'll try to see if we can't fight right there in that open spot. I like open ground for the fight so I can see what's going. And I know a really good general would be able to use the trees to his advantage, but I find for me they're just a disadvantage. I don't know where the enemy is sometimes, and I want to know where he is. So we got some pretty good mercenaries coming. We've got a decent army of our own. So all told, we're commanding a fair amount of decent troops. So we'll let these guys
Hold your ground.
And I may have done that too quickly. They may still be in that funny mode.
My lead. Your orders.
We'll see.
Advance.
So to some extent, I still want to be paying attention to what's going on in the rest of the world. So we're looking pretty good over here in Waldbrand, and the plan here again is to sell the berries. We want to have multiple people picking the berries, and we want to, as we get people in, and we're starting to get some staffing, we're going to go ahead and get our staff here. I'm just double checking to make sure I set up the trade, which we've already done, and we're going to get that trade going, and as new people come in, that'll give us more builders and what have you. And you can, here we go. So we want to make sure we accept that. If we forget to ever contest it, we'll have our troops over there, but won't be our land anymore, so that would not be good. So we want to get somebody in that initial battlefield just to get the counter started. And now we got these annoying, this diplomacy thing, I'm sure there's going to be more to it, but right now it's just more of an irritant than a functionality. And here he comes, right next to us. 1, 2, 3, it looks like he's got decent army, a couple of mercenary. I mean, we've got him unless we mess up. We got him unless he's got more in his back pocket somewhere. So I think what we're going to try to do here, and this is probably a mistake, we'll see. We're going to try to set up a line and get him to charge into our really good spear militia from Nusslohe. Those Nusslohian spear guys are pretty tough. And we'll try to just get these guys to come in and join as soon as they can. In fact, we're going to have them run. I think we did run. You know what? I think even when I was playing, I was thinking, run, no, don't do it. That's what's in my mind. That's why I said we're going to have them run, and we really didn't. I was really thinking about it, but as long as we can get, well, let's build. We need a welcome center. And let's see how this thing goes. So we're going to try to set up a line there and try to lure him into coming into that very spot. So we're going to set up our archers behind the safety of those spearmen. Have our retinue back here. They seem to like to attack the retinue, so we're going to set them up to be the back defenders plus the bait. But you can see he's turning. I think he's turning down here for where he's got an advantage. Down here on these two. Yeah, he is. Yeah. You fellas might. I'm just trying to do a command that makes sense with them. And now he's got archers trying to flank us from above. He's going around our left flank, trying to get in behind us with archers. So I think those archers might just disappear. Our retinue take care of them. Our problems down here to the south, the good news is those are mercenaries, and not to say we don't care about them, but we don't care about them. We don't. So, we want them to last long enough for us to win the battle, but, So we're going to have them run, but I think it's too little too late here, as I recall. Pretty close. We got one of them through. One the spear militia made it through. So we're just going to have our archers focus their fire down here. And we've got these one brigands up here. And don't want him getting into our houses. I think he's flanking us for this purpose of attacking, like sneaking. They seem to like to sneak around and attack your archers, which is to his credit a good idea. So this one light mercenary group down here has been caught by two mercenary group, so that's going to be tough on him. And we can see his retinue coming from down here. We'll call it the south, coming down the way we're looking at it. We'll call it the south. He's coming from the south down here. He's going to join in. These poor fellas are not going to make it. Trying to find a way to tell them to, if you can, disengage. So we'll tell them just keep falling back to see if they can get back there, but they won't. They're not going to make it. They're going to die. But on the other hand, yeah, see what he's done. He's come in with those brigands. Could have done a little better job of having my spearmen turn and face those brigands. But I think it's going pretty well overall, other than these poor mercenaries down here and the. We do have an attack on our archers right now, which we don't love, but we'll see. So we're going to try to make a line here. So he may get those mercenary, but he's taking shots from our archers, and he's about to walk into two good lines of spearmen.
Your orders. Your orders. Yes, sir.
Now these guys, we're having these guys attack the spear militia, which is not their strong suit, but they can do it just fine. So see, they're going to clean up that mess up there. And down here to the south, we've got archers raining arrows in on these guys, and we're closing them in with spear militia. So I don't think we'll have a problem here. There we go. Looking good. And we still have soldiers coming in who haven't even joined the fight yet. We'll just get them in here and make sure they're in a spot where they can join the fray. But the battle isn't over, so there's obviously something left to do. Now we chased some archers with retinue. Now they're not as fast, so it could be that we never did catch them. It's entirely possible. So now I'm thinking there's got to be his soldiers somewhere. And I think I should have paid more attention to that location of the battle and said, okay, if there's an enemy, he's got to be in the location of the battle somewhere. So now we've spotted there. He's brought his archers back down, trying to come at us from behind, which I get it. You're attacking our archers, but what we're going to do, instead of taking a chance on losing our archers, we're just going to run our archers away and attack him with those three mercenary units that were joining the battle late. So if we can just lure him in, there we go. Now he's running right toward our hidden retinue. So this should work out great. Yeah, I'm going to let you buy your way out. All right. Now, if I knew he was buying to end the battle and I would win, that's different. That may be the case. I don't know. Now here, these guys will not last long now. They got retinue on them. They're gone. All right. That's looking good. Looking good. So I'm just making sure I've got troops in the battleground, because it does shift. It has a starting point, and it shifts as the battle goes. And I really wish we could put all these guys in a formation instead of just lining them up like that. That would be nice. And there we go. We got our victory. Peace declared. I don't know. I just won. That's a funny mechanic too. I just won. Who says I want peace? Kind of being presumptuous to think that I absolutely want peace. I don't know about that. So we lost a few. We lost some archers to his archers, basically. But we'll get them right back, so we're good. and we can make a quick check to see if there's anything else going on, like a raid or some such thing, before we let these guys go. But they're going to get paid in 5 days, you can see right there. So goodbye, thank you for your service. We're going to let all those troops take off, looking good. And now we need to clean up the mess. So we need to get that pit. We need to get the pit dug. We'll get 3 people in our church burying folks in the hallowed ground, our guys. We'll get the corpse pit done and bury the rest, and then we will have cleaned up the mess and survived an attack. All right, everybody's back home, back to their jobs and to their families. A little bit of mourning to do for the losses that we took, and we should be recovered and good to go. And now let's get Waldbrand back on track. If we're going to try to pick a lot of berries in Waldbrand, I really want to move to a granary model as quickly as we reasonably can, because you need to be pulling those berries out of the the forager huts. You need to be pulling the berries out timely, or they're just going to back up and slow down, because then once they get to the point where they really have backed up, the person in the forager hut will start carrying the berries one at a time to the granary, and we certainly don't want that. So we can do 10 at a time with the granary worker, so we want to get that going quickly too. And it really is a simple model. If you have good berries and you have several pickers and a granary supporting it and a trading post supporting it and taking them and trading them away, you can make very good money, and it's not an expensive setup, and it's still serving the purpose of supporting your feeding your village. So again, I'm using the messages as cues to tell me to go do something. We're still burying dead. We've got actually quite a few left to bury. Okay, we're getting big enough to think about another militia unit. So what we're going to do is we'll have 3 now. You can see they're like 29 apiece, and we do need to hit a critical mass of 18 times 3, which is 54 houses. So we've got the room for 54. We've got 38, 40. We've got 50. So when our 4 more families move in, we'll have enough room to have 3 full archer militia units coming out of Immenreuth. See, it says Nusslohe up there. We're not looking at Nusslohe. We're actually looking at Immenreuth. It's still saying Nusslohe, even though we were very clearly doing work in Immenreuth. So that's one thing that I've said this a couple times before, but that's one thing they absolutely could improve. All right, that ominous sound means that we've got, yep, raiders coming. No warning, just here they come. They're coming in from Goldhof. They'll be coming toward Waldbrand, so I'm thinking we need to cut them off, but before they can get to Waldbrand. And it just so happens we've got these guys who could probably do the job all by themselves. We'll get them going. And as they finish rallying, we'll send them, and again, I think I'm a little fast on that. We will send them up here and try to find a nice open spot where we can cut off those brigands and keep them from attacking our village. We'll give them the medieval welcome center. And while I'm here, I'm just taking a quick look to see what's happening in Waldbrand. What kind of shape is it in? Do want to get an early manor, get some tax revenue, some tithing going as quickly as possible, get another retinue charged up. So I'm thinking about stone to build the manor. And I think to add to our troops, we're going to, just to make sure, we might as well send them out. They're not doing anything. We're going to send this retinue out. Once they rally, we're going to send them walking over this way to support our spearmen. I think our spearmen, well, I know the spearmen would win, but they might take a loss or two if they do it without the retinue. With the retinue, we should be very strong against this raid. So it's just a bit of a race to see who can get into position first.
Forward! Forward!
Hold steady still! Heavy infantry! Forward!
Your orders! Yes, sire!
Good. Advance!
Lord! Yes, sire!
Yes! Yes, sire! To battle!
Not much to say about this. We got them coming in, being impaled. They did 2 on 1 down to the south, if you will. Now here, this is cute. He's got one group coming in from the side, but we'll just turn everybody toward him, and no problem. So took no losses. slaughtered a bunch of raiders, got some honor for it, which is great. That'll help us for next time to allow us to go out and claim another region. And we can just send everybody home. Thank them for their service. I contemplated just leaving that retinue out there, but there's no way where you can say, you know, they'll definitely attack Waldbrand next. They might attack Immenreuth. We don't know. So we're just going to send everybody home and let them chill out in their homeland and be ready for the next time we need them. And of course, the militia we absolutely want to send home and get them back to work. So we really appreciate the raids. We hope they keep coming so that we can pick up influence at a faster rate and allow us to go out and grab more land. This little burgage plot planning right here is very clumsy because of that stone. If I were doing this one again, I would just take that stone and move it somewhere. It's a pain. I've got it there in a kind of a halfway point. And yes, it's just, I don't want the double wides. I just want the single wides. And it's really, really clumsy here, but anyway, we'll manage something. There, that'll do. So to make sure we're getting berry trade, we're going to set up a dedicated trade route. And that way we can get consistent, you know, get 40, 50, I guess 50 berries traded on a regular cycle. And that will keep the revenue coming and help us to get other things in place to make this a successful village. So I'm looking for the message that tells us we got a problem with burials, and I'm just not seeing anybody. We finally got the corpse pit done. There's no message saying we have a problem. Oh, here it finally popped up. We got 33. I guess they accept looking at them for a while, but they're not happy now. So we're going to. I started to put one in the church and realized we don't have none of our guys died in that battle, so the corpse pit is fine for all the bodies. Alright, so we already have enough goods to start our manor construction. We can plan out the garrison tower. Won't have to build it yet, won't be able to, but we can get our manor started. And I've noticed there we just jumped over 2,000, so we've got enough influence to go after another region. I want to make sure we get this berry thing going very strong in Waldbrand before we think about gathering your troops again. And before we move to the large granary model, I want to just go ahead and upgrade that to a large granary. That'll save us from having a whole bunch of food in there and then, having everything shut down while we, if we've moved to that model, that means that our food is coming from the granary into the stalls. And if we are upgrading our granary upgrading it to large at that point in time, then you're actually slowing down your food delivery for a while. Right now, we're not doing anything. We're just building a building, and the food goes on just as it would otherwise. When you start doing level 3 like we're doing here in Nusslohe, and you have it on those double wides, you're getting 2 more families spots opening up. So you actually have 4 families in that one level 3 burgage plot. And so you end up getting some abundance of people, which is lovely. What a wonderful problem to have, because it seems like you spend the whole game looking for people. So we had a temporary road, we're going to get rid of that. We're done with the corpse pit, we've cleaned up our mess. And Waldbrand is back to just normal functioning now. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put people in this housing. It's only July, but since we've got multiple regions going now, I want to try to have everything as automated as possible and not have to think about, oh, it's September, go fill up your farmhouses with workers. And I'm still debating this whole idea of the houses near the farmhouses, because it really, if they spend their time walking rather than farming, it really, that fall season is so important for the farming. And it is nice to have the workers living right near the farmhouse. On the other hand, you end up in this dancing mode where you're taking people off, building corpse pits, burying bodies, putting them back on, taking people off, building stuff, taking them, that whole thing. It's very hard to keep people consistently employed in one thing until you're stable. Now, maybe if we said, okay, Immenreuth, this is it for Immenreuth. This is all we're going to do this playthrough in Immenreuth. You're stable. Then you could just set the guys in the farmhouses and not worry about it. And perhaps we'll get to that point in this playthrough in Immenreuth, but who knows? I really don't know. We're going to just keep pushing this whole thing with the berries, and we're going to go move now, since we've got an upgraded granary. We're going to move now to the granary model for our food. So the granary is going to be going up and grabbing the berries, grabbing the meat, running our markets, and that should make the hunters more efficient, the berry pickers more efficient, and particularly let the berry pickers keep picking berries rather than running a stall or moving stuff slowly to a granary. Let's wrap up this episode right here. Went well. We defended Immenreuth. We fought off some raids. We built ourselves up to 2,000, and we can anticipate in the next episode going after expansion and claiming another region and fighting it out with our rival to see if we can expand our territory. Hope you're enjoying this. I hope you got something out of this that will help you become a better player. I hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for our next Manor Lords video. Thank you.